Hello everybody, welcome back. We are here with Artemis Steele, the Ex-Courier 6, and I got a couple of things that I want to show you. This build is my entry into a YouTuber's build challenge. His name is The Soul Dweller. I'll link his channel below. But he came up with a build challenge that I'm very grateful has a very long application time, or whatever. He started in March and it doesn't end until the end of December of 2021, so I was finally able to work out what I wanted to do and get it built. And it also happens to help out one of my settlers, Terrence, whom you may have met earlier. So let's get a look at this then, shall we? And here it is. This is Terrences Observatory, and this was a hell of a build. I got Terrence as one of my settlers quite some time ago. Found him in Diamond City, and he was lamenting being in Diamond City because there's no place that he can safely look at the stars. So she invited him to move here to Sunshine Tidings, which he happily agreed, and he was using the roof of one of the buildings to stare at the sky and observe the stars, and apparently investigating something else. We'll see that later. But he really wanted something even higher, and so Artemis worked in a well, she's very charismatic with a gun, so she was kind of able to ask people to help. Of course, she didn't, she's not a raider, she didn't bully anybody, but she was like, hey, look, I really appreciate your help. And so like, well, I want 5,000 caps to go and do something that was only worth 500. Yeah, sometimes she'd have to whip out the gun and go, are you kidding me? But usually, most of the people that she worked with and hired were pretty reasonable. So she was able to get a small number of people, including the people here, who happily helped because, hey, Terrence is one of their own. But they helped build Terrence's place. And we're going to check out this area here first. Love the God rays, unless I'm trying to record. Then they're a pain. But anyway, this here, this entrance here was here before the war. It's part of the entry into this silo, which is used for various reasons, usually to clean out the inside of the silo before using it again, filling it with grain or liquid or whatever. But in this case, they climbed inside the silo here and attached a working pump. And so they have this pump here because now it's serving a different purpose, which is this hose attaches to it. And as some of you may be able to see pretty well, there's some green here. Why, pray tell, is it green in front of a pump? Well, let's see. Let's follow the pump. And there's a bit more spillage that's been coming out of this hose when they're done. And as you can see, crops are growing. So what is this? Well, for many of you who have probably figured it out already, this is one hell of a septic tank. And they pump it out when it needs to be. And they use the fertilizer here for the farm over there, as well as the farm up there. So let's take a look at the supports. This place has got a lot of supports. You'd think, well, that's some rickety looking wood, but it has got a lot of support underneath, and both in the wood and in steel and brick and tree. The tree here growing up here really helped give some stability at this section. And let's take a look over here. Apparently Terrence can path this, which is why I've built this walkway here. Oh yes, and this being very, well, you can see it's jaggedy rocks and things like that. This walkway needed stability, so there are a lot of sandbags here in order to get this working. SZ, please do not hit anything. A walkway here to another walkway, which, you know, you have some stairs and you can either go this way or you can walk up from here onto this over here to the entrance. Oh yes, and while we're outside, a little close-up of the stairway. And something that I noticed after I had gotten the top built up there is that from a distance, in a very surrealistic way, I don't know, reminded me of a tree, because lots of brown and vertical, and then the top is all green. So to kind of go with that style a little bit, some of these fence posts are brown, and then it just kind of goes into the green to go to, excuse me, Mr. Z. Sorry about that, gang. And it just kind of continues up there. So let's check this out. Walk over here. There's a bit of a bridge here. Get that door open. And first, we are going to check out stairs and railing here. There's Terrence.
There are countless threats to any settlement. Mathematically, the odds aren't in our favor, but we have you.
Well, thank you. Mathematically, the odds are not in your favor, except that you have Artemis Steele here. Well, thank you. So this is his growing section. He to pull his weight here, as a lot of the settlers like to say, in any settlement, really, if you work, you eat. That's all there is to it. Well, he works on his crops here, and that allows him to maintain his home where he can look at the stars. So up here is the top of the septic tank, and you can see that they've welded in some metal here for the pipes that go up top, and you can see that one of them kind of goes a little underneath, that one goes to the toilet, and then this one enters inside the flooring system, which there are actually pipes and drainage all inside that area. And right here is another one of the support structures being used to hold up the bathroom. And yeah, she's really proud of the work here that was done. A lot of support, a lot of people came and helped, did a really great job. And let's see, let's go down the stairs and let's go up this side. And you can see the railings here, and it does keep you from falling off. Some more of the supports that were welded in. And get up here. And they were able to buy some of the House of Tomorrow pieces from around the Commonwealth, and they utilized it in order to build his bathroom. So just kind of, you know, it's scrappy, but it works, and there's a reason that this is made of metal, and I will show you that later. Let's turn off the light, and you can see that it does have some light in here at night. Wow, some freaky light effects. And yes, this little red hose, I don't know what the hell that hose wire thing is for. It does go up in between the, you can see the gap in there. It goes up and into there. And then those hoses that go out and around, they actually do come out through there and in through there. And before some people say, "Ooh, well, it's a bad idea to have candles in a bathroom, in an outhouse, all filled with methane and such," well, it's not exactly airtight in here. You know, it's, you know, when he decides to kind of let off some wind, yeah, it's gonna go all over the place. Plus, he can open this window here whenever he chooses. He's got some cleaning supplies here for his toilet. Nuka World Nuka-Cola towels, because Nuka World traders just kind of come through this area because Nuka World is over there. So, and he likes Nuka World and Nuka stuff, which we'll kind of see a little bit later. And you can kind of tell from his store as well. So here is, excuse me, the supports for his home. And you can kind of see, yeah, all up there. And a little privacy wall. He can kind of put a little additional storage here if necessary. But we come up here. And here's his home. Get that door. And he's got all of these planks along the floor because, as you can see, the floor is kind of, it's got some openings in the floor, little slats and such like that. Let's see. You can kind of see the little slats down there. So he's got boards around the edges for a reason, and he's got various cloth, tarps, rugs, things like that along the floor to kind of keep out some of the draft as much as possible. And here's his bed. And oh, so he's a scientist and a lover. Nice. Ooh, dude, you may want to kind of clean up. You probably didn't know I was going to be showing off your place today. Sorry about that. A little crumpled napkin there. But there's a Nuka World pillow, Nuka-Cola pillow. He's got himself a bedpan, spare shoes, just for when he doesn't feel like, you know, I mean, if it's raining, you kind of notice there's not a roof over these stairs, so he may not want to walk all the way down there at 3 o'clock in the morning. So he uses the bedpan, and then when he wakes up in the morning, then he goes and dumps it into the toilet. But he's got a chair here, and his backpack from his travels. He's got himself some food waiting for him, some ribs and some sauteed potatoes. Got a sunset sarsaparilla. You got some taste. Yeah, she might steal that from you. Artemis loves that. Not stealing. Sunset sarsaparilla. But he's got some of his crops are here. He's got that pot. He uses that pot to wash his dishes. And that's where the clean rag and Braxo comes in. But here's how he kind of cooks his food. He also heats his water the same way. And, sorry about the weird texture on the picture. Sometimes that's not the one. Sometimes it gets fixed. Fucking hell. Oh well. Sometimes it's weird. This is a picture of the Capitol downtown here. It's weird. Sometimes when you highlight on it and you open the build menu, it'll put the picture back, but not this time. So I just accidentally stored it. Okay. Well, that was fun. Okay, anyway, this is his kitchen. He's got his pot hanging on a nail there. He's got his ladle just kind of hanging there, balanced, and his spatula is also on a nail. Sometimes he forgets to eat, but yeah, he uses his kettle to heat up water, pour it in there, and wash the dishes. But he has a lot. Oh yes, and there's some more of his Nuka World favorites there. But he's got a lot of books. There's the roof, so he gets a lot of light through here. We'll see that in a bit. But he's got a lot of books. He's a scientist. He's finding everything that he possibly can on the subjects that interest him, which is mostly stars and space and planets and, well, apparently extraterrestrials as well. Right there. Yeah, this is a special report. And got himself some more stuff. He also collects and apparently plays with some of these bobbleheads. Plenty of books. Apparently he traveled through the New York Wasteland and grabbed a couple of souvenirs. This is one of his favorites. And yes, so the reason for the boards on the floor is so that he can move his telescope here into all these different areas along the edges so that he can look out and look up. He gets a pretty good view of up. Because if he doesn't, those legs are just going to fall right through these holes here. And he's got himself a, let's see. Now, come on. Postcard from Florida, where Cape Canaveral is. He hopes to visit there someday. And he's got himself a shortwave ham radio, which he's using it to listen to all sorts of things, but he's also saying so that he can listen to some of the Zeta transmissions. I'm not having bad weather. Nope, I'm recording. No bad weather. There we go. I would use the weather gun, but it does work. I love it. It lasts. But here at Sunshine Tidings, I've used the weather gun, and then like 2 minutes later, it rains again, and it's almost like Somerville, in that it rains so much up here. It's so weird. So I just wanted to use the console commands just to make sure it lasted longer. So here we go with some tools and rags and oil and stuff like that, and some instructions on how to maintain and clean his telescope. Now this thing is pretty beat up. I mean, come on, it's 200 years old, but he's doing a really good job, and he's still keeping an eye on space over there. So he says that it's you know, where the Zedans come from, but who knows? Maybe if any happen to crash land in the Commonwealth, maybe Artemis will fully believe him then. She did see some over in the Mojave, so she doesn't totally disbelieve them. She just doesn't know if they've actually come here or if they come here on purpose. He says they come here on purpose, but she's not sure about that. The only one she saw in the Mojave, it looked like they were trying to repair theirs. So he's got some extra food in there, and he rests and keeps an eye. And yeah, this is his roof. Brings in a lot of light, keeps out a lot of rain, and he has these large tarps here for when he decides that either it's raining or too bright or whatever. He rolls them down and attaches them to the nails that we're having a hard time seeing, so that they stay down, so he can have some more privacy and be a little warmer up here. And this one, he's got a drape curtain that goes across. He doesn't really plan on using this section for looking at the sky much. I mean, he's got this over here, so he can pretty much see whatever he wants, you know, if he wants to. And yeah, he's got himself a red lantern that he found in West Virginia a few years ago. Some more belongings. And yeah, this is his place. And oh yes, I was gonna show you this stuff outside as well, but this is his water catchment and passive water heater. The sun hits that and it takes the water from here, fills it up inside here, pretty much through that drain right there, fills it up, and then the sun heats this up, and it becomes basically tolerable water for taking a shower. And oh, I did have it off. And then right here, he's got a safety ladder, so he can climb out over here, down onto here. And there's even some supports welded in, and I'll show you how I mean in just a moment. And let's take a look. So the tub is supported to kind of keep it at that angle, and it is pressed against the legs so that it won't fall forward. And this is got some sheet metal welded and riveted into the wall so that these things won't slip and fall. This is also attached to the roof, but you know, safety first. Just making sure that everything stays there. And let's kind of walk around this way. And this is the shower drain. And then this is the toilet. And these are the supports. And let us take a look around as we go up. And this was not intending to be a night tour as well, per se, but it's a good time to have one. Okay, let's actually take a look here. So we got these supports. And they seem pretty darn sturdy. Yeah. And then we head up here. And look down, and there we go. This is the top. Thank you, Z. Oh, stay there. This is the top of his observatory, and Z is just really into shaking everything. We can come down through the top. And he's got all of his stuff stored there. And I like how that turned out. And go down here. Get another look at this septic tank. And you can see it's they've got supports that the steel goes up and goes through, and then some more supports there. So this thing is really welded and supported very well. And then down here is where the pipes go in. So the shower and the toilet, basically the gray water and the black water, all flow into here, where they have earthworms and sawdust and anything else in here to make fertilizer. Oh, and there's an interesting thing with this pipe right here. This big one here, which is being used to support. But let's check it out with the magic of no clip. Let's go inside the pipe, look down, and you can see there's the bottom there. But where does that bottom go? Well, it just cuts off. You can see there's the inside of the pipe, and then it cuts off. But when we go up, well, there's the bottom. Go out, there's nothing there. Keep going out, and whoop. Oh, apparently there is still a huge pipe. But when you go inside, there's no pipe, but there is here. Very interesting. I found that interesting. Thank you for climbing on there, Z. He's a good boy, though. And let's turn off clipping. Sorry if my hand got in here. And yeah, again, the greenery and the big old rocks that they're using to support the end of the hose, so it can kind of drain off a little bit at the end, which then has formed this little puddle of fertile ground. And he's growing some corn here. So, yes. Turn my light off. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This was a heck of a build for me. Trying to make everything work, look right, make sense. That's my biggest thing, is trying to make everything make sense. And then trying to tie it all together. But I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Again, I hope you all enjoy. And yeah, check out the Soul Dwellers channel as well. They have some really great videos there, and some good builds, very good builds. So remember, be excellent to each other and to yourself, and party on. Thank you all for joining me. Have a good one. Bye.